Yeah.
the agents hoping to get paid in the transaction as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So, this is one of the things that I love to, I love to help other agents and real estate pros in the business be proactive with your business, right? And really, everyone can just go spend money on ads and leads and data and stuff like that. But there's nothing that's better than an organic lead, a free lead. And on top of free, right? We just say, hey, if we have to spend money in marketing, right? We have to spend money in marketing and advertising. There's free things that move the needle, and then there's paid things. But the only thing better than free is free, and it comes to you,
Yeah.
right? And it's not going to three or four or five other people.
Yeah.
So Monday morning, wake up, I get a text message on my phone Monday morning. Hey, buddy, got a situation going on, right? And I know, right? And and when I see, hey, I
You
got
didn't
a
even have to read the
situation,
rest of it. You didn't even have to read the rest of the
I'm
text to know that.
excited.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm excited, and not for whoever's sending this that they've got a shit show, they say,
yeah,
happening, right?
yeah,
But they've got a situation going on. But I know, okay, here we go, right? Let's roll up our sleeves. It's time to be a problem solver. Get that Rubik's cube, because we got to figure something out, because someone's got a situation, and I get these a lot, right? And again, we don't want someone to be in that situation, but they happen. And
yeah.
so this friend of mine who's a real estate agent, who has sent me a number of folks over the years, and we've closed a number of deals together. He has a buyer that can't close right now, and they're supposed to close literally last week, like on Friday,
Boy.
then
Oh,
on
boy.
Monday, and they can't close. But it's not because they're unbankable, right? Which is our business. They're
Okay.
bankable, but they can't qualify because they have to sell their house first. And their house is their transaction of selling their house is falling apart. Why is that deal falling apart? Because that buyer is unbankable now at the last minute. And I won't drag this out too long, and I'll get to the finish of where we're at with it today.
Yeah.
We're your plan B, right? We're your plan B. And I show, right, and this, we show other agents how you can either, come to us and we'll be your plan B, we'll be your backup plan,
Yep.
or you can be this solution in your marketplace
Yeah.
yourself. But so the buyer couldn't buy the house that they were selling, and therefore they couldn't sell it. Therefore they couldn't buy the next one. So I'm talking to 3 different realtors and a loan officer all Monday morning going, we've got this domino effect happening. We've got this
Yep.
train wreck. So-and-so mentioned you, said that you can come in and maybe help. And what do you think? Well, I was, kind of dropped what I was doing for most of the day, scrambled, right? Called some of our capital partners. And, normally we're not getting something, banged out in a day or two when, a lender's had it for months.
Right.
And they want an answer in like 12 hours or 24 hours. But we could get it done. Now it seems that the lender, they think they can get it done, and they are allegedly going to close, which is great. It's great for all parties involved, right? So we did not have to step in, but we were ready to step in, and still are ready to step in and do this. But yeah, I mean, we literally have a seller who has kids and pets and things in a moving truck. And we have people that are displaced, people that are a lot. And so, yeah, you got a lot of people here with this situation. So, and this happens, right? It happens a lot.
Yeah.
And this was like the day of closing, like, oops, we need more time. Oops, we thought it was good. And, not saying anything negative on the loan officer. It's not necessarily the loan officer's fault. There's always more to the story, of course, and details, but yeah, we're ready to go to jump in and make the transaction happen, where 3 different agents are going to get paid a commission, whereas right now they're on the balance of not getting paid anything. And that lender, if that lender can't get the loan done right now, they worked for free for weeks or months, and we could still get the buyer the house, because they want the house. They don't care how they get the house.
Yeah.
They want the house. So yeah, man, kind of crazy,
And
but
you
that
mentioned,
domino situation is never fun,
saving
right?
the commissions for the agent, which obviously the three agents involved. I mean, obviously,
Mhm.
most of you watching this are agents, and that's great. But the reality is saving the second part of that, right? So that's the financial side of it for the agents involved, but
Yes.
the emotional
Oh, completely.
investment and just like the stress for the participants in the transaction, the buyers and sellers in that transaction.
Yes.
I mean, that's a big deal to be able to come in and kind of potentially save the day. Now, like you said, hopefully it ends up that it works out. The plan A ends up working out, but you being a
Right.
plan B, um, you know, it's obvious why you're paid highly to solve these big problems, right? Because there's so many in this case, there's so many people involved and so much,
Right.
so many, a lot of money involved, a lot of emotion, just a lot of things going on there.
Yeah.
And to be able to creatively problem solve, that's why you're highly paid when you're the solution provider in these scenarios. I want to give everybody, I shared this on my morning live stream, and it's incredibly um, applicable to this conversation, right?
Mhm.
Because most agents watching this have
Mhm.
some amount of database,
Mhm.
right? And so
Mhm.
I want to give you a very tactical way that you can unlock the money in your database, which was the topic that Jesse had talked about on
Yeah.
the original mastermind a couple of weeks ago, which the link to that is with the description, in the description with this. I'm going to give you a text script. You can use it by email also. It would also work as a social post. You could share into groups or
Mhm.
whatever. Think about the free or organic opportunities that might be there. But I sent this out to a portion of my database this morning. I already have a bunch of conversations going, and
Love it.
I'm going to give you the script, and then I'll give one example
Mhm.
where we may need to look for a creative solution to help William Kirby in this case. The
Mhm.
script is,
Mhm.
hey, Jesse, let's say,
Mhm.
just curious, what's the one thing stopping you from buying a home this fall, parentheses, or winter, question mark, let me know, thanks. Now, that's not specifically looking for the people that need a creative solution, but what I can tell you is when you use that script, a vast majority of the people that respond are people that need a creative solution to be able to proceed, right?
Yes.
They're
Yes.
they're they're saying that they've got a credit problem or this, that, or the other thing, or this is one of the more unique ones that I got this time using the
Mhm.
script. Bill says this is him replying to what's the one thing: selling my current house and making a profit so I have a down payment on a new house. Well, now I have
Mhm.
that information. I can follow up with Bill, and it might mean that we have to get creative in the solution to sell the current house
Mhm.
to get him the down
Mhm.
payment for the new house, or
Yes.
maybe on all sides. Like we might have to get creative on all sides. And the only reason
Mhm.
I know that is I think I've talked to Bill over the summer,
Yeah.
and I think Bill is one of these people that fit the box that Jesse talks about, and oftentimes is able to help, which is credit not great, but lots of income,
Mhm.
and he might need some money from his house for the down payment, but like as long as we've got two out of the three boxes, meaning you either have to have credit, down payment, or funds of some kind for
Mhm.
settlement costs, or income. If you have two out of the three, usually there's a solution to help you.
Totally.
Three out of three is like it's easy, like,
Yeah.
right? Like
Anybody can do it.
that's
Yeah.
just a traditional transaction. But if you
Yeah.
got two out of three, and even if the funds
Yeah.
are locked up in your house, right? If you've got
Yeah.
income and you've got equity in your house, there's a creative way to make all of this happen, to make all of it work, right? It could be taking over the house subject to with a down payment that he can then take and use on the new house, right?
Mhm. Absolutely.
Uh, Lots of ways, lots of
Or,
ways.
or they don't want to see the title transfer, so then you do a lease with an option of purchase. You could go that route with it. You could do an
Yep.
installment sale. Absolutely, and they might even qualify. Right. One of the questions that I ask a lot, and I share with my students quite a bit is, what do you want and what do you need? Because want and need aren't always the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I need to sell my house. Well, do you need to or do you want to? Because you already have this asset. What if you're sitting with a 3 or 4% interest rate?
Yeah.
You just need what, 20 grand for your minimum down payment to get to the next house. Well, if you have a low interest rate and I'm going to come in and give you a nice, decent rent payment that maybe I'm going to arbitrage, right?
Yep.
Now you go back to your lender and say, hey, lender, I'm going to rent this out actually. And I qualify and I actually still have enough to offset the payment or maybe even just break even on your mortgage, worst case, right?
Yep.
And now they qualify and they don't have to get rid of their house. And heck, now you have an asset. And now we just contributed to their future retirement, right? And tax savings. So it's like you take this bad thing and we just actually just kind of refocused on how we look at it. And it's actually a good thing. You just didn't look at it through those lenses. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the way you uncover that is just by being genuinely curious and question and like, but literally being curious. So, well, I need to sell because of X. Well, like, do you actually need to sell or you just need the equity from the sale to resolve that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess if I had the, if there were a way that we could get you the equity creatively so that you can get to the end result, is that something you'd be open to? Would it be worth exploring that anymore? Right. And most people, if their pain or motivation is high enough, they'll at least entertain it. And then it's a matter of, again, putting on your problem solving hat and figuring out how do we make all of this work together and make create a, it's cliche, but create a win-win-win scenario, right? Like,
well, this one that I have on that I got on Monday, I mean, it's three agents involved, right? You've got a lender involved that eventually the loan would come back to in the future. So it's not like I'm not taking his business. He's going to get the loan in the future and get paid. It's 4, right? You've got how many buyers involved and seller? I mean, literally, it's not win-win-win. There's like 10. There's 8, 9, 10 people. Literally from one solution, like you fix this, boom, fix. And like how many people? So it's really cool, crazy when you think about it that way. One thing I want to mention too, man, on that situation, obviously I don't want to give too many details. And of course, nothing private or identifiable, but here's something I want people to take away from this, right? Because again, this is one of the biggest misnomers. And I know you know this, right? From your background and experience, but people just kind of think like can't qualify and they automatically go, probably doesn't have a job, probably doesn't make any money, probably doesn't have good credit. They're like in that category of people. This guy has very good credit. Like mid 700s to almost 800 credit, has 20% down and was getting told on like the day of closing, we can't get this done. Right. So everyone thinks, oh, good credit, money down, they can qualify. No, they can't always qualify just because you have those two components. And it was a self-employment thing. And like most of the clients that we work with Unbankable, it's a timing thing. It's just a timing thing. It was when they started the business versus where they're at now. And then how you identify that and how you calculate that. And which is a timing thing, but this wasn't someone broke. This wasn't someone with crappy credit, which we work with people in those situations too, of course. But right. Most people don't think, oh, easy peasy, but it's not. And these people are out there everywhere, and it's just a timing thing. They need help.
I think I have fought myself with it, like limiting beliefs, or not understanding the reality, like limiting beliefs, meaning if you think or don't know or have experience with the amount of people in your market, in every market, who they make great money, but it doesn't look like it on paper. That's just one bucket.
That's like one thing.
Yeah.
Let alone layering anything on top of it, right?
Right.
That's just one thing.
And they may have a 780 credit score. It's just that when someone says, "Can you document your income?" they're like, "Not really, sort of, kind of, right?" Like, and so like that's just one bucket that is out there. And once you understand and like open up your mind to the fact that like those people are in my market, and if I start to demonstrate that I can be a solution provider to that audience, one leads to another to another, because birds of a feather flock together, right? The people that are in that boat, and many, like many of you listening who are real estate agents, you may be that person also. Where
Did you see my Facebook story today by chance?
I did not.
Oh.
What do we got here?
Well, one of my emails, because you got to be on your own list to, make sure things are going, going there.
Yeah.
I got an email from me, right? And it's the email, and this week's topic is, does Unbankable work for agents? And I'm like, well,
Okay.
yeah, it does. And so I took a snippet of it and I put it on my Facebook story and Insta story, but it completely works for agents. And one of our team members who's been with us for years now, awesome guy, Eric, he was a realtor and he heard me present. I was talking to, 50, 60 agents at a meetup at a team meeting. And he's like, hey man, does this work? Does this work for agents? He's like, saying it all like secretly, right? I'm like, yeah. You fit the same box, dude. Like you're going uphill again, or at least you're not going downhill. You have the money. You just need more time. We have a plan. Yeah, it completely works. But here's what I love about that. Him as a new realtor, like a year in the business, year and a half in the business, doing great, right? But not 2 years. Don't have 2 years of taxes, not 2 years of being in business, right? Plus the write-offs anyways. He went from an apartment to rent to owning a duplex. Fast forward a couple years later, he's now buying the duplex. Now he's in his 8th unit, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you skipped kind of being a homeowner. You went right from renter to investor, which is pretty dope. Again, just by asking the questions, and it was a timing thing. A lot of time it's just timing. So yeah, totally works for agents as well.
Yeah, agents.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll just give one other simple sort of avatar for this niche. And you've mentioned it, I think probably on both of the previous sessions, which again, you can check out with the description with this video, which is people that they, for some good reason, missed a payment.
Yeah.
One payment.
Yeah.
And then how long do they have to wait to be quote unquote bankable again? In most cases, 12 months of not having missed that payment. And they may have they may have great income and great credit score. It's just that one blip, and it was, life got in the way or something odd that is easy to explain, but you can't explain it away from underwriting. Like it just, and so there are lots of these scenarios where they're good people, strong borrowers by all accounts, that just for whatever reason they don't fit in this nice pretty little box. And there's more of this going on around you than you realize. And when you open up your mind to it and you turn on the reticular activating system to it, you'll find opportunities that you just didn't see before. And I think for all of us, the more opportunities we can have, the better, because we're still transaction count wise, we are still like way behind normal or average. And so if you want to survive and thrive the rest of this year and 2026, you have to be a better, more creative, more proactive problem solver. And this is just one way that you can do that, just looking at these creative solutions and options. Jesse, if somebody wanted to connect with you, get more information, learn more about what you offer, coaching, etc., what would be the best place for them to go? Is it Facebook? Is it, where would they go to connect with
you? You can find me anywhere on social media at the Jesse Mills, THE Jesse Mills, the Jesse Mills. I would say, if you're wanting to learn more about Unbankable and how we are helping people get home ownership, how you can be a part of that, our website, just unbankable.homes, not .com, but .homes. So
unbankable.homes.
.homes. Yep. And we have a really good FAQ section, actually. So I've got 20, 30 questions and videos of FAQs for both buyers as well as for agents and lenders. So how does it work? How do I get paid? Right? What's the process? So yeah, it's kind of right in the middle there. That FAQ is, we're going to make that a little bigger, but great FAQs page. And you can reach us right through that. It's awesome. Now, one thing I love to share, and Josh, I know you know this, and our agents that we work with, across the country, there's two ways to work with us. If you just want to say, I got a lead, I've got a scenario, just like the text I got Monday morning, I got this thing happening. And it doesn't have to be falling apart in underwriting. Like we don't want those, right?
Yeah.
It could be like they never even got to underwriting because they never even applied because they think they can't qualify and or they know they can't. But if you have a lead like that, then you just get them to us and we'll take care of it and we will pay you and you'll get compensated on a deal you would have made nothing. You would have made $0 and you're helping somebody and you're providing incredible value, right? And you have the option that they need, which is awesome through us. We just get to kind of come in behind the scenes. So that's option A. Option B, you might say, wait a minute, how many of these people really are out there? A lot. And what if I have people coming to me all the time instead of me having to go find them all the time and chase the same leads everyone else is, right? And compete over the same things. And what if I was, I don't know, the go-to in my market where my phone was ringing weekly with people coming to me? We can teach you how to do that as well. Yeah. So it's an amazing, it can be an extra side business or it can be your only business, frankly, just going that way, which is pretty cool. So now we work with a lot of real estate investors as well. And so we have just a really cool system. I'd call it, it's a system or program. We plug in a lot of different partners that we have nationwide. And so if somebody is kind of more on the investor side, they're very bankable and they are looking for their first or next property, we can talk to them and see how they can work in our system. And if I can give maybe a separate thing for that, because we have a whole separate thing for investors. We have a lot of good free resources we can give you for investors, whether you're just getting started or you want to grow and scale your business, or you want to move from being an agent kind of on that commission hamster wheel, right, over into a deal creator where you're getting cash flow and passive income and maybe making more per transaction than you would anyways as an agent. We have that. So that would be.
I would love to dig into that.
Maybe we do that next session.
More like well, maybe we can break down a potential scenario from the investor side of it. Okay, we have this unbankable buyer.
Mm-hmm.
They've got X amount down, this is why we think they're qualified. This is a house they chose, and I'm coming in as a potential investor. What does that look like, and what would I expect, and who would be a good potential investors? That way, maybe the listener is interested, or they know people in their database or in their sphere of influence, etc., that might be interested in those kinds of deals, right? That they're interested in real estate investing, but they don't want to be a slumlord, or they don't want to be, whatever. They have they would like to be able to do these nice house deals, these pretty house deals, these these properties that they would be excited to brag about owning and investing into, versus maybe because I've been the guy that was like, I own this
kind of proud, kind of not proud, I mean, someone has to provide the home ownership, but no, this is our investors love it. And for our investors, we maybe mentioned 2 weeks ago, we call it hybrid investing. And it really is combining being a landlord and being a flipper. But you're not actually doing any work on the property. You kind
of are getting the best of both worlds.
Yeah. And you don't have to find the opportunities. We find the opportunities and we do all the heavy lifting and the work. But it's great. And you can really scale. And what I love is when somebody gets this, right, it takes kind of a conversation or two and like, oh, okay. And then they do one, and then it's a few months and they're like, hey, just getting paid.
Worked the way it was supposed to. Yeah.
It's working, getting paid on time every month. No one's calling, no one's bugging me. And I have more money left over now than I would have going that traditional route. Do you have any more opportunities? Like, yeah, absolutely. So for an investor, it's awesome. Or for an agent or a lender, right? So again, it's end of October, right? As we look and go, how do we crank out some more deals and, finish the year strong? Maybe you're on pace for your goal this year. Maybe you're behind, right? Maybe even you're ahead, but if you're ahead, you don't take your foot off the gas, right? Because that's not how we are. And if you're behind, well, then let's push the gas pedal down hard. These are ways you could come in and say, hey, I know you and I, if we just sent out a message, how many people right now want to get their first or next investment property before the year's over? Who committed back in the spring? I'm going to get an investment property this year, right? Well, there's time to do it still, and there's needs and there's opportunities, and you just got to say yes. And
quite honestly, this last quarter of the year is one of the best quarters of the year from an investor or for an unbankable buyer, because there's less competition in the market from the traditional buyers, right? So there's inventory available right now that won't, like, that same inventory will not be available come April, May. Like all of the traditional buyers are going to be fighting over that inventory. Right now, there is a wonderful window of opportunity to be the problem solver, or to be the investor, or all of the above. It's just a matter of taking action and implementing. So
totally agree.
Go and follow Jesse on all the socials. The Jesse Mills. Check out unbankable.homes, unbankable.homes. And next week, I think we'll dig into the investor side and explore what these, an example deal, what that might look like, and how you might be the investor in one, or go and find the investors that would want to participate in these types of hybrid investing real estate deals.
Yeah, I love that. And as we mentioned in the first show, guys, we want to hear your situations. We want to hear what sort of leads you've got going, right? And sometimes people just don't think about it. They're like, oh, I don't know. I got this listing and it's just sitting, but it's not a big deal. Anyways, move on with my day. No, let's talk about your listing that's just sitting, right? We talked about, Josh, what about adding to your listing? This property is available, lease to own or seller financing. Oh, I've never thought about that. Or no, my sellers won't do that. No. Your sellers don't need to do that.
Right.
We will come in and buy it as the middleman. And then now you have a whole nother pool of buyers looking, right? So we want to hear from you. We want you to jump in with your buyers that can't buy, your sellers that can't sell, your investors that are sitting on the sidelines, not buying anything. Because if you have people in your sphere, but there's just no transactions happening, we can maybe help, get those wheels moving a little faster.
Yeah. Love it. Check out the links that are in the description. If you want to do, start to dive a little bit deeper and better wrap your head around Jesse's hybrid investing approach and the unbankable concept. We'll be back next week. We'll dive into more of the investor side, what that opportunity looks like from that perspective. And maybe also, like, I really like the idea of turning your listings, when you include language like that, lease to own, seller financing, rent to own, you generate way more leads. And the more leads you generate from your listing, the more opportunities there are. I just love that one little thing.
You might get the buyer for that property. You might get more money for your seller for that property. Yeah. Or worst case, you still get the regular buyer, and now you have a new buyer.
Yeah, right? Totally.
Multiple,
Love it. Great. Love it. Jesse, great stuff. We'll be back next week, and we'll look forward. Bring your scenarios. Bring whatever, because that's fun too, right? Like we want to share, and Jesse and I could sit here and talk all day. But when you have specific scenarios, that's super helpful as well. And Shirley, I didn't want to not acknowledge you. Shirley shared a little story here. She's been there, done that. 40-year realtor, and just the story of helping some tenants along the path of building, if I understand correctly, that she helped them. They ended up, becoming homeowners and business owners and successful, and kind of rinsing and repeating that. And that's a great opportunity that we can offer as realtors as well. So thanks for sharing, Shirley. Jesse, thanks for your time, and we'll see everybody next week.
Thank you, my friend.
All right. Take care, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. See ya.